is, first of all, in our diagram, is the height of the triangles inside your polygon. So here's the apothem of this triangle right here. Okay, oh, the polygon, I should say. And the formula for area of a regular hexagon was 1/2 times the apothem times the number of times the side lengths. All right, let's plug in what we know here. We know that the area is 800. We have the apothem is 15. The side length, let's see. Nope, we don't know the side length, so we'll plug that in. Do you need something? Okay. All right, and then the number of sides right here, a hexagon has 6 sides, so we'll multiply that by 6. So here we've plugged in everything that we know, and we're going to solve. So let's do the right-hand side first. We have 1/2 times 15 times 6. We're going to multiply those together, and we have 45 times the side length equals 800. We're going to divide each side by 45, and then we'll get how long each side is. And it's about, it's equal to 17.7 repeating. You can round to 17.8 would be fine as well. So there it is. So again, for these problems, start with your equation, the correct equation, plug in what you know, and solve for what you don't know. Okay, in class we watched this YouTube video to get the formula for area of a circle. So you can watch that on your own time then, and I'll go straight then to the formula. So here we have a circle. Basically the video shows how you can break the circle into different segments and then line them up, and it makes a parallelogram. And we know that the area of a parallelogram is the base times the height. And for this right here, the height is the radius. And then the base right here, it shows you how it's the circumference divided by 2. So the circumference is 2 pi r and half. Now if we take that in half, 2 divided by 2 cancels to a 1. So this side length is pi times r. And we're going to multiply it by the height, r. So the area of a circle is pi r times r, or pi. And that's the area of a circle. And again, the video does a pretty good job of illustrating why it's pi times the radius squared. Okay, so let's write that down then. The area of any circle is A equals pi r squared, where A is the area, capital A, and r, lowercase r, is the radius of the circle. So let's just practice a couple problems then. For 1 through 3, it says leave your answers in terms of pi. What that means is instead of calculating out the decimal, whenever you have a pi, just leave it with the pi in the answer. It's called an exact answer because we leave it in terms of pi. So here, if the diameter is 6.4 centimeters, find the area. Well, review. Diameter is the distance through the middle of the circle. So there's the diameter. The radius, which we need for the formula, is half of that. So area equals pi r squared. Here, if the diameter is 6.4, the radius is half of that, or 3.2. So we have pi times 3.2, and we're going to square that. So if we type in 3.2 squared, we get 10.24, and usually they put the pi after the number. Okay, so in terms of pi, in other words, we're multiplying 10.24 times pi, but not really multiplying it by, the 3.14, the decimal. We'll leave it 10.24 pi. Okay, if you wanted the decimal answer, then you would multiply it by pi in your calculator. And this area is centimeters squared. All right, the next one, the area is 529 pi centimeters squared. Find the radius. So start with your formula. Plug in what you know. So we have 529 pi equals pi r squared. Let's solve that for the radius. So first step is we can divide each side by pi, which will cancel the pi's. So we have 529 equals r squared. To get rid of a squared, the opposite of that operation is to take the square root. So we're going to square root each side, and we're going to get the radius is 23. So we have 23 and centimeters. It's one-dimensional. And the last one, if C equals 36 pi centimeters, find A. C is circumference. The formula for circumference is 2 pi r. So we have 36 pi. Oops, I put 3 pi. So 36 pi equals 2 pi r. We're going to divide each side by 2 pi. When you do that in your calculator, remember to put it in parentheses. Or we can just do it by hand here. So we have pi divided by pi cancels. 36 divided by 2 is 18. So here the radius is 18. All right, we're not done yet though because we want the area. So here's the first step, find the circumference. But then to find the area, we have to plug this in to pi r squared. So pi times 18 squared. We'll square the 18 and we'll get 324. And then again we put the pi after that. So the area is 324 pi centimeters squared. Okay, so that's leaving in terms of pi. Let's do some problems where it says, all right, round to the nearest hundredth, which is 2 after the decimal. So here, if the radius is 7.8, find the area. So again, the formula is area equals pi r squared. We're going to plug in a 7.8. We'll square it. And this time we will round to the nearest hundredth of a centimeter, so you get 191.13 centimeters squared. Number 5, if the area is 136.46, find the circumference. All right, so this 2 steps. Number 1, find the radius. Number 2, plug in and find the circumference. So step 1, 136.46, this is area, equals pi times the radius squared. Mathematically or algebraically here, we're going to divide each side by pi first. You'll get the radius squared equals some number here in your calculator. Take the square root of that number. So the radius is about 6.59. So there's the first step to find the radius. The second step is we need the circumference. So circumference is 2 pi r. We have the radius about 6.59, so plug that in. So 2 pi times 6.59. And then I type that in your calculator, and the circumference is about 41.41. So 41.41 centimeters squared. Okay, word problem. Samson's dog Cecil is tied to a post by a chain 7 meters long. So there's the radius. How much play area does Cecil have? All right, so if you think about that, here's what that picture would look like. Circle, radius is 7 centimeters. So area equals pi times 7 squared, which is 49 pi. You can either leave it like that or get the decimal answer, 153.94 meters squared. And the last problem, 3 circles are tangent, find the area of the shaded region. Here's the strategy. You're going to take the big circle minus the 2 small circles to get these 2 regions right here, but then you're going to divide by 2 because only one of those regions is shaded. So if we plug in, we get pi times, if the radius is 5, then the radius of the big circle would be 10. So pi times 10 squared minus 2 of the small circles, so pi times 5 squared. And get that answer first, and then divide everything by 2. And when you do that, you get about 78.54 centimeters squared. All right, so this is day 1 of circles. You want to practice by doing the problems below, and we'll go over it in class tomorrow.